She says in here that in the 1940s, your chances of developing breast cancer were 1 in 40. Now, 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. Hey everyone, Sarah Grace here, and I'm back with a new discussion topic. As you all know, it is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this leads me to this conversation that I want to have because it seems like every year when this comes around, I feel really upset and irritated. And I want to talk about this. This all kind of started when every year the NFL would do their big kind of push for breast cancer awareness, and everyone was wearing the pink and they were selling the pink, and it was kind of becoming like a fashion thing. And people figured, you know, I buy the stuff, I'm supporting a good cause. So I did a little digging, and I know this isn't new information because I think honestly, I noticed this year the NFL is not doing as much with the pink because I think that people started catching on, but apparently about 8% of the actual profits goes towards breast cancer research, and everything else is just kind of fattening their pockets. So little of the money is actually going to the cause. I know that that is not the only organization that this stands to be the case for. So I kind of dug and I was looking into the Susan G. Komen Foundation because that's a really big one for breast cancer awareness as well and research. And for that one, 20% goes to of the donations go to research and for cancer, and they pay the CEO a salary of $684,000 a year, which apparently that CEO is one of the highest paid CEOs of any nonprofit organization. And I looked at their financial report, and under where it says mission impact, I have it here on my computer, I was like, I'm interested to see what they say. And so they break it down on kind of like a pie chart, and it says 34% is going to treatment, like developing treatment and testing. 15% goes to survivorship and outcomes, programs to help with treatment side effects and quality of life after. 23% goes to the biology of cancer, 11% goes to the causes of breast cancer, 13% goes to early detection, and 4% goes to prevention. And it really blows my mind that how little is actually going to preventing cancer and even what might be the causes of cancer. But it just is so frustrating to me when every year this comes around, and you hear it all year long really, but you know, we need more funding for this campaign, and we need more research for this, and we're gonna end cancer, and we just need more funding. And it's like, by this time you'd think with all the funding and all of the money and all of the supposed research, we'd have an answer. But yet we just keep going back to, we need more, and nobody's talking about what's causing the cancer and how to prevent it. It's, we need more research. And it's unbelievable to me that, you know, that nobody is talking about preventing and why the rates of cancer are rising and they're not going down. And actually, I was looking at, I just got this Heal Breast Cancer Naturally book by Dr. Veronique Desaulniers. I think that's how you say her last name. But and she says in here that in the 1940s, your chances of developing breast cancer were 1 in 40. Now, 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. If you are not a breast cancer statistic, then you have a 1 in 3 chance to develop some other type of cancer in your lifetime. In February of 2014, the World Health Organization made a statement that there is an imminent global cancer disaster that will cause cancer cases to surge 57% in the next 20 years. And so, you know, all of her research and her things in here, she has cited citations for them, and you can look at where she's getting her information from. But we have seen over the years a rise in cancer, and specifically in hormonal related cancers. And you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, it's genetic and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm one of the unluckies that got stuck with these bad genes. And in actuality, you know, cancer is a preventable disease, and so little of it is actually genetic. There's a gene mutation that takes place to cause cancer, but so little of those genes are actually passed down. Oftentimes it's environmental factors that cause them later in life, and things that we are being exposed to. And so in my mind, it's like, instead of dumping all of this money into an organization where barely any of the funding goes to the actual cause, why don't we start talking about, you know, what we can do to prevent cancer right in front of us on a daily basis, and what women can do to prevent cancer. Maybe we should look a little bit more on all of these things that are being prescribed to women, like synthetic hormones and birth control at a young age. Maybe those are things that we should research, and the effects that they're having on women, because we're seeing a lot of these female cancers, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, all those things, they are led hormonally in the body by, you know, estrogen dominance and hormones that are changing. And that's a whole nother topic that you can get into, but it's just frustrating to me when I believe the answers are right in front of us, and yet everybody is saying, you know, we just need more money here and we need more research there. And I'm so sick of hearing that. People listening might say, you know, I don't understand what it's like to have somebody that has suffered from breast cancer, or, you know what it's like to have it myself. And the reason why this is something that is so important to me, and why it gets under my skin so much, is because I lost my mother to cancer. And I watched what she went through and the treatment she received, and how it basically was a slow death for her. And there were no answers, and there was no hope. And she was given, you know, 3 to 5 years to live, and 3 years from the date she was diagnosed, she passed away. And I believe without a shadow of doubt that, number one, her cancer was environmental, and number two, her treatment is what killed her, because there was no way she could have withstood what the chemicals they put in her and what she went through. There's no way she could have survived that. I mean, she had absolutely no immune system left, and her organs were just destroyed. And so that is what has led me to, you know, to do a lot of the research that I have done, because I know there are other ways, and I know that there are answers, you know, for people in this situation. And that's what drives me crazy, is when I hear, you know, all these commercials and these people talking about we need more research, and we have these lofty goals of cutting cancer in half by this date, and, you know, we're going to end cancer. But yet it's like, what are you actually doing to end it besides fattening your pockets? You know, let's talk about what's right in front of us on a daily basis, what we can do as individuals to prevent cancer, not treat it after it's already happened, but to prevent it in our own lives. And so it's like, you say, all right, so what's the solution? Well, for me personally, what I do is I look for organizations, nonprofit organizations that align with my principles, but also that are educating people on how to be healthy, how to be truly healthy, and how to, you know, where to source their food from, and supporting local farms and getting your foods and getting back to the land and kind of back to the way that we were, say, 100 years ago, before we had the rates of cancer that we have today. And so I think that there's a lot we can do right within our own communities to educate and to support people to prevent cancer before it ever happens, so that it's not even a conversation that we have to have. And you can make decisions in your own life on a daily basis of, the antibiotics that you take and the lotions that you use, the perfumes, the plastics, all of those things that have estrogen mimicking components to them that can change your hormones in your body and lead to disease down the road. And so there's so much that you can do on your own and do to educate yourself so that you're not another statistic. And I really think that's what the key is. And I know that's not the answer for everybody and the answer to end cancer for good, but I know that those are things that we can do to reduce it, and we have to take responsibility in our own lives. It's about us, because at the end of the day, when you get thrown into that system, and I saw it with my mom, there's not much hope. There's not many answers. You're treated like a number, is all you are. And their goal is to keep you alive if they can, as long as they can. And that's about as good as it gets. And my mom was at probably one of the best cancer research hospitals in the United States. And the treatment that she got from well-meaning, people that were quote unquote caring or whatever, it was unbelievable, what it was like for her. And so do the research on your own. Get books like this. There's another great book, is What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Premenopause. It goes into a lot of hormone issues and things that you can do to prevent breast cancer and prostate cancer and those sort of things. And that's the kind of stuff that we have to do. We have to take responsibility for ourselves and our health. We cannot blindly trust our doctor and put faith in the people around us, because those people just don't have your best interests at heart. And there's a lot of money to be made in this business of cancer. And in my opinion, there is never going to be an end, and there is never going to be an answer, because that would take them having to give up the money that they're making. And so, research these organizations before you give them your money, and find ones that are truly doing things to prevent cancer versus fattening their pockets and treating it with more drugs and more testing. So feel free to comment below, as I know many of you will, with your opinions, your experiences. Maybe you also have some good resources. But I'll talk to you all soon. Do me a favor, share this video and subscribe to my channel. Take care.